I just wanted to make a video to explain what homeopathy is and what it is not. Sometimes it's easiest to explain first off what something's not, and homeopathy is not just herbalism, it's not just a catch-all phrase for everything natural. I definitely wanted to get that out of the way because that is what I originally thought homeopathy was. Growing up in the past, I would hear the word in passing, homeopathy, and I just assumed in my head that was just kind of a synonym for, the whole blanket of everything, natural, alternative health, natural healing. I had no idea what it actually was. And so what homeopathy actually is kind of like an entirely alternative medical system. It has tons of different remedies. There's literally like over 3,000 of them. Volumes upon volumes of materia medicas in which it explains the attributes of all those different remedies. It has repertory books with different indications for, who might need them and why. And it's just a very detailed, different type of system. It originated in 1796 from Samuel Hahnemann. He was an allopathic doctor who sought a more perfect type of cure. He wanted something that would cure quickly, gently, and just as effectively as possible. And so drawing from his knowledge, he created homeopathy. He's kind of the father of it all. And from there, over the 1800s, it explained it drastically. To this day, even the royal family promotes it. The new King Charles is a really big fan. But to kind of more backtrack into what homeopathy is, you really got to think of the root word homeo. The root word homeo means same, so same pathy, meaning that you're going to be using the same type of agent, or what's known as the law of similars. In contrast to that, the more modern medicine, as we think of it, is allopathy, meaning different pathy, or using a different type of agent. And so to best explain this is, let's say that you're in bed, awake, you can't sleep, and so homeopathy is going to look at the symptoms. So if you're in bed, awake, you can't sleep, your big symptoms are going to be, well, number one, you can't sleep. And the way that allopathy, or a different kind of pathology would view that, is they would view it from the point of view of, okay, so you can't sleep, so what is a different type of an agent which would induce sleep? So they would look for some sort of a medicine or drug which would instead promote sleep. They would view it from the opposite or allo end, whereas in homeopathy, the remedies are made from the perspective of like cures like. So in terms of then the homeo aspect, they would look for, okay, well, what else in its raw form would produce those same types of symptoms of not being able to sleep. So right off the bat, if you think coffee, that's actually pretty interesting, because coffee in homeopathic form is known as coffea cruda, which is actually one of the top remedies for insomnia. And so the way that that works, to kind of get into an overview of how these remedies are made, is you basically start off with a raw substance. So in going with the example of coffee and coffea cruda and having insomnia, they would basically, in making the remedies, take the raw substance of coffee, and it gets diluted down, like literally, obviously different potencies are going to have different dilutions, but let's say like 50,000 times. And from there, it's shaken vigorously. And I know, a lot of the modern day skeptics and mainstream likes to poke fun at homeopathy because they're like, well, there's no detectable substance. How could this possibly work? It's a placebo. Without, kind of looking deeper into, what might be going on that we can't exactly maybe understand at this point in time. And from the homeopathic perspective, the way that it's been known is that when you dilute something down so much and really succuss it vigorously, there's this whole big process of shaking it, they view it as you unlock in some type of an etheric or energetic way just the essence of that substance. So then when it's kind of, infused into these pellets, you'll see homeopathy as the white little pellets. And then let's say, you're up, you have insomnia, and you take it. So when you take this potentized coffee or coffea cruda, it's like the essence of that coffee unlocked in that potentized form is going to interact with what homeopathy calls your own vital force, or like kind of your own energy fields or your soul, whatever you want to call it. to where it teaches your body in this very innate kind of energetic way, okay, you have the symptoms going on right now in your body of being awake. And so here in this energetic form is something that also homeo pertains to being awake. So it teaches your body how to then deal with those symptoms. And I mean, if you suffer from insomnia, I really recommend Coffea cruda. I mean, it's not the only one for insomnia. There's different flavors of insomnia, like 3 big ones, but I mean, that's besides the point. But it basically teaches your body how to deal with those symptoms so that then your body can more intuitively, innately, then just know how to handle it, know how to deal with it. And I mean, there's, like I said, literally over 3,000 remedies. So there's different remedies, for all types of different issues. But what it really does too is with homeopathy, well, also what makes it different in addition is because in allopathy, it's going to view everything as very separate and isolated. And I understand, in the example of insomnia, that's like one separate isolated issue. But what homeopathy also does is it's operating on such an etheric type of energetic plane, it looks for the totality of symptoms of everything that's going on. So if you've ever been to a homeopath, it's almost like a game of like 50 questions, or tell me every possible thing about your life, your body, your emotions, your everything. Because in homeopathy, let's say that your big complaint is that you get headaches. Well, you might find they might also ask you about any rashes you have, any traumas you've had, what your kind of basic personality is like, how other people might describe you, what kind of dreams you have. And what they're doing is they're looking for the entireness of you. What makes you you? What makes you unique? What is your essence like? What is your vital force trying to express? And with that, all of those different symptoms are going to point to the remedy that most is similar to it, from the concepts of similars, the law of similars, of homeo, like curing like. And basically, they're trying to determine what is going on with you in your entirety or your totality of symptoms to then match it up to the corresponding remedy that most kind of, I guess, jives with you, synchronizes with you, is going to be on your same type of frequency wavelength. And then in homeopathic theory, the idea is that if you can get it pretty close, that it will cure a whole variety of symptoms, or help resolve them. I know the word cure is kind of loaded, but it will resolve a whole lot of issues. But the idea in homeopathic tradition is that if you can get it exact, like spot on with the right remedy that's needed, you could pretty much see almost everything that's wrong with a person start to resolve, psychologically, physically, complaints that maybe you didn't even realize were complaints because you've been dealing with it for so long just start to unravel. And so the idea is that with these remedies, being it's operating on more of an energetic type of, vital field, is that take sulfur for an example. That is one of the earliest remedies that Hahnemann was all about, that he, really promoted, or even later Kent, he's one of the greatest homeopaths of all time. Sulfur in a very physical way is going to really greatly deal with your body's ability to detox. So naturally, the skin is the largest detox organ. So people that really need sulfur are going to probably have a lot of skin issues. Usually in their totality of symptoms, they might have a lot of issues with eczema, especially on their hands. But some other symptoms that they're going to have are going to be more psychological. These might be people that are very, very, very messy, but at the same time brilliant, like geniuses. Like it's been said that Einstein, for example, was a sulfur. Their hair might be all wild and crazy, kind of like his was. And I mean, I'll get more into remedies over time and, what kind of comprises them all. But, I guess I'm really just trying to capture the essence of homeopathy here. And it's just such an all-encompassing, different kind of view that a lot of people aren't really even aware of. But, I'm trying to change that. My goal here is to try to make more people aware of homeopathy. It's really incredible. I've seen all sorts of what is nothing less than miracles through it. And so, yeah, I hope this was kind of a good little overview of what homeopathy is. If you found this interesting, subscribe. I know other YouTubers say to hit the little bell to get alerts. I guess, do that too. And yeah, I'll be making more videos coming up about, dosages, potencies. I'm probably going to get into all the different remedies. So yeah, I hope you guys like this. Bye.